Welcome to What Are You Sporting About podcast, a podcast about business, employment, sports, and entertainment to help educate, support, and guide you to your next level. Here's your host, attorney Sivonnia DeBarros.
Good morning to you all. I am Sivonnia DeBarros, the protector of athletes and the owner and founding principal attorney of the S.L. DeBarros law firm. We represent employees, business owners, and athletes at this firm earning 6 or 7 figures or higher. So look, today for this episode, we are going to be discussing life's risk and benefits. Last night, my husband and I sat up in bed and we talked about some of these young athletes who are coming out and just being extremely reckless with their life. And so I felt that it's necessary for us to have a general discussion around risks and benefits. Everybody has a risk and everybody can have a benefit. It's all based on the type of conduct that you portray out there, the decisions that you make. Okay, it's time out for, this person may be young, let them get it out of their system. When you are reaching or trying to reach certain levels in life and have reached certain levels in life in spite of your age, you have to be more responsible with what comes with that. You have to be more responsible with what comes with that. And so first, I'm going to talk about athlete Josh Jacobs. Let me pull him up here on this screen. Josh Jacobs. So some of you guys may already be familiar with this athlete. So let's check this out. Now, there are rumors, but I think it might be true. There are rumors that Josh Jacobs has 8 kids by 8 different women, has a 9th child on the way, possibly by a 9th woman. This is what I want to know. What are you trying to prove? Who are you trying to prove it to? What are you trying to prove and who are you trying to prove it to? Like, that absolutely makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. What are you trying to prove and who are you trying to prove it to? When you go and sow your wild oats into God knows where, you have no idea what's going to happen. I mean, let's just be honest. If you are having multiple kids, having the child is the best thing that could possibly happen out of that situation, right? Because we know that people carry diseases. Folks don't really care about you. When you start earning millions and millions of dollars, sharks are out there as well. They trying to see what they can get from you. So is that a good financial decision that you're making by sleeping with all of these women, unprotecting yourself, and having all of these kids? Because I'm gonna tell you one thing. Being a mom, I know how much kids really cost. I have one child. I know how much kids cost, and it's not cheap. It's not a cheap feat. And I think sometimes athletes may think they have the ability to carry the load of multiple children because they're earning millions of dollars. But I want to see something. Let me see if I know he's in Las Vegas. All right. Let me see what the child support percentage is, because you guys have to think about this. So child support in Nevada for one child, now this was in 2020, 18% for 2 children, 25% for 3 children. So if you're making, let's use the calculator. He has more than 3, but we're going to use 3 kids. Let's just say 11 million, because I think that was his check. 11 million times no, it's okay, for three children, 29%. 29%. That's $3,190,000. $3,190,000 for child support. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. But you also want to think about, what does that mean for you? What does that look like for you as an individual? Would people really want to keep doing business with you? It's, because it really can screw up your brand. It can truly screw up your brand. I want to read a little something from this article that really stuck out to me, because this is something I wrote about in Athletes Making Moves. So Josh Jacobs responds that he feels people are really just hunting for clicks and likes by suggesting that he has multiple kids with multiple women. But here the article says, considering allegations such as these can be harmful to a player's reputation, it's not surprising to see Jacobs trying to bury these claims hastily. Jacobs has admittedly denied any truth to the allegations of him fathering 8 and soon to be 9 children. Still, this wouldn't be the first case of an NFL player boasting an incredibly large family, which is true. So another popular professional athlete, I think it was Evander Holyfield. I think he was the one who had, he fathered 11 children with 6 different women. And Evander Holyfield could never figure out what his brand would be. So what are you doing this for? This is one of the reasons why I wrote, what are you sporting about? What are you doing this for? Right? Are you trying to prove something to people? Are you trying to prove that your equipment works? Because you don't have to do that. You truly do not have to do that. As a matter of fact, okay, so Evander Holyfield has 11 kids, but he can never figure out and understand his brand. So what is the risk and the benefit? The risk is, one, you keep sleeping with so many different people, you could catch a sexually transmitted disease. You could end up with a ton of kids that you can't spend time with. You can't probably even see, that they can't see each other. They can grow up resenting you, okay, because you would never be around. And especially if these women are living in different areas, different parts of the country or the world, how would you get all of your kids together? That's the risk from that, right? Right? What would be the benefit from this type of behavior? I honestly don't know. I'm just being real with you. I don't know. Maybe just having the kids, knowing that you are a parent. But look, that also creates or shows people that you don't even understand what your brand is. You don't know what it is that you are doing and what you want to do. Aside from you being an athlete, who are you? What else do you have to contribute to society? What do you have to contribute to other people who are coming to watch you play? Because I'm going to tell you one thing. If all you have is your sexual organs, your sexual, whatever you want to call it, we got to do better than that. You should be more than that, right? Money doesn't make a person. Your body parts don't make a person. Your character does, right? How you show up in the world every day is who you are. And if that's the way that you choose to show up, then people aren't going to really want to do business with you. And I tell you one thing, having all of these kids would be the reason why, and is the reason why, a lot of athletes get stuck in a sport. Even when they know it's time for them to retire, they're just trying to hold on bit by bit because they need that money. They have done so much. They've sown something that is detrimental to their future that they cannot even afford to stop playing. They don't want to stop playing because if they do, they know financially they will be in a rut. And let's be 100% real. When you're making millions of dollars, you ain't taking home millions of dollars. You got to pay your agent. You're paying your financial advisor. You're paying your lawyer. And I'm going to tell you this, if he ends up on child support, that's going to be a lot of lawyer fees. If he ends up marrying one of these young women and they end up divorcing, that's going to be a lot of lawyer fees. Okay? If you have a house, you are paying your mortgage. You're paying the taxes on that house. You're paying for any maintenance that needs to happen on that house, right? If you have a physical trainer or therapist, you are paying them to keep you in tip-top shape. You should also be paying a therapist, because clearly I'm thinking here, what is it in a person that will make them go out into the world to do this? There has to be something there. There has to be something there. And so, guys, I'm like coming to you from two different works, written works that I've done. Athletes Making Moves and What Are You Sporting About? What Are You Sporting About? Inspired this podcast. Okay. But I'm thinking there has to be something deeper there. There has to be a form of trauma in this child's life. And I say child because he is still very, very young. Because let me tell you this, and even I think, I could be wrong, but I think on the day after when he was drafted, he got in a car accident, and there is a gash on his forehead from this accident. End up with a DUI. What is the risk and benefit? Like, this is the way we need to be thinking about the decisions that you make, right? Not everybody is in a position to be a professional athlete and end up with a signing bonus of millions of dollars. People in regular jobs generally don't go into $1 million signing bonus, right? So when you are in a position to acquire something so major, so heavy like that, you need to be asking yourself, what is the risk and the benefit if I make this particular decision? All right, I get drafted. I want to go hang out and party with my boys, but I've been drinking. What is the risk and the benefit of me engaging in that behavior? That's how we got to start, really analyzing this stuff, because it's time out for re-perpetuating the same type of behavior and the same type of stereotypes that folks have already put you in, right? If you don't want people to think that you're just some dumb jock, or let's just get down to it, let's pull the race in here. If you don't want people to think it's you some dumb black boy, it is time to stop acting extremely ignorant. It is time to stop acting extremely ignorant. I mean, come on. What is the risk and benefit? So Josh Jacobs gets into this car accident, charged with a DUI, has a full gash across his forehead. What's the risk of that? One, he could have died from it. Two, he could have killed somebody else. Three, he could have a concussion. And when I saw that photo, that was something I thought of. I said, okay, he's in a major contact sport. You get in a car accident, right? You're already injured your head. How is that going to work with you in professional football? Like, your career could technically end a lot sooner because of that, because of your head injury. Like, are you cleared to really play? But when you back yourself in a corner, you have no choice. You're like, I gotta play because I need to make this money. I have to play. But I really want to know what would make somebody feel like they need to constantly prove something to another person. What will make somebody prove or feel like they need to prove something to another person? Where does that come from? And that's why I have said in my books that we need to make sure we're putting therapists on our teams. Because when we're able to really break through all of that noise and start living life for ourselves, right? We're able to show up in a way that is extremely authentic, is true to us, We know exactly what it is that we want out of life and we go for it. Screw trying to prove something to the next person. Screw trying to, show folks how much money you got. Why? 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 It's none of their business. So we need to start analyzing what are the risks and the benefits for every decision that we make. Like I said, not everybody has the ability to enter a job with a $1 million or multi-million-dollar signing bonus. So the responsibility is truly on you to analyze what that risk and benefit would be based on your behavior. So do you guys know who Henry Ruggs III is? If you know who Henry Ruggs III is, drop a comment if you're watching this right now. Do you know who Henry Ruggs III is? So Henry Ruggs III, he's a 22-year-old football athlete. He played college at Alabama. Henry Ruggs ended up getting in a car accident and killing someone. So vehicular homicide. This is what I'm talking about. How do we keep making these same mistakes? How do we keep doing the same stuff over and over and over again? And I tell you guys, like, that's why I'm so passionate about protecting athletes. That's why I call myself the protector of athletes, because it's more than just protecting you from unassuming sharks, professional sharks who are out to get your money. It's protecting you from yourself. It's giving you the real conversations that other people are too afraid to give you. It's time to cut out the yes people. I am definitely not a yes man. And you can ask some of my athlete clients, business clients who's worked with me. I would never make you feel like you are the scum of the earth or belittle you, but I am going to give it to you real, because that's exactly what you need. You got yes people all around you. They are definitely going to tell you it's okay to do this, it's okay to do that, and you're going to go straight into doing it, and it's going to cost you everything, a major risk. So when your risks outweigh your benefits, it's time to reorient your mind. It's time to shift that mindset around what you've been doing, what you possibly have already been taught, what people have been doing in your community or in your environment. What costs you to feel like these are the things or the decisions that you have to make? This is the kind of conduct that you have to put out into the world. It is time to reanalyze how and what we do. Right? I mean, when we're talking about professional sports, we're talking about a very small population in this country who are young, who are technically rich based on the amount of money you receive for your contract, and who is Black. Because if we look at the major sports that generate billions and billions of dollars, it boils down to young Black men. And I'm just being real. I'm tired of seeing my boys go down the same road doing the same stupid stuff. I am tired of it. And I want to help you to protect yourself. You need to find other people who will help you protect yourself, not just from professional sharks, but also from bad decisions, who will make you pause and think about the risk and the benefit. And if the risk outweigh the benefit, then you definitely need to come up with a different idea of what needs to happen next. This is not hard. It literally takes pausing for a moment when you are in the midst of doing something. Celebrating is okay, right? Celebrating is okay. But when you make a conscious decision to get behind the wheel and drive drunk, there are a myriad of things that can happen from that. Even if you weren't the person who technically crashed into somebody else, there are a ton of issues that can happen. If you're a professional athlete, let's just say, now with name, image, and likeness for college athletes are getting a spotlight that they have never gotten before because of these deals that they're able to monetize earlier on in their career. So now the responsibility is really on a college athlete too, to ensure you are making the best decisions to not ruin your entire brand before you can possibly even get pro if that's where you want to go. But if pro sports is not even a thing for you, but you just want to put yourself on a trajectory to have a successful brand that you can build on when you leave college, you definitely want to make sure that you are being the best that you could be, that you are putting the best brand and your best self out to the world if you want to do business with some of these top companies, with some of these major movers in sport or whatever it is, right? Let's take one of these examples. If you are an athlete, let's just say you're still in college and you get a brand deal and you want to celebrate with your homies. Okay. First off, I'm going to be asking, if you're in college, are you even 21 to be drinking? Because not all college athletes are at the drinking age. So let's just say you're 19. You go out, you have a few drinks. People serve you drinks because they know you play for a top university. They don't care, right? They've already broken the law. Then you go and you drive down wherever street, but someone crashes into you. What could happen from that? What could happen from that? You could end up being tested to see if your alcohol level was high. And here's the thing, when you end up achieving some level of celebrity, folks are always going to try to figure out what was your fault. And that's just something that comes with it, right? So you really need to know who you are. First off, what is it that you really want? Because when you make certain decisions, you're going to be catapulted under a light that maybe you didn't think that you would be, that you don't really want, but it comes with the job. It comes with the title. Is that really what you want? So now is the time to really think about all of that. A lot of athletes are sitting at home broke, sitting at home in trouble, or sitting in jail, completely lost because they took their eye off of exactly who they were. What is it that you want out of this life? And who are you at your core? That's why I wrote, What are you sporting about? You got to go back to the basis, because sometimes we can get so lost and caught up into this world and caught up into the expectations of what other people have put on us and caught up into all the things that we could have, because now we've come into contact with all of this money that we've never had before. We got all the glitz and the glam in our eyes. We are seeing and walking into $1 million homes that we've never walked into before. We're meeting people with all these amazing titles that we've never come into contact with before. Folks are reaching out to us and we're like, whoa, I am so overwhelmed. And it takes us and moves us so far away from who we are. We got to stop. We got to pause. And we have to really ask ourselves, what is the risk and what is the benefit of me engaging in certain type of conduct? If I did X today, what would be the risk of that? And what would be the benefit to me? And here's what I'm going to leave you guys with. We got to think further than today. We have to think further than today. And the sad part is that we haven't had a lot of folks to drill that into our minds, that your success is based off the legacy you leave. A lot of folks feel that success is based off all the things that I can do right now, right? Some part of it is, but it just depends on the person. But when you don't think about the long term, when you don't think about what it is that you want 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now, and I'll take you even further, think about what you want to leave here when you are no longer amongst the living. I think about that all the time. You may call me weird. I think about death all the time because it's all around us. It's inevitable. It is going to happen. So what is the legacy that Sivonnia DeBarros wants to leave? I absolutely know what I want to leave. Do you know what you want to leave? Because when you live just day to day, making risky decisions, engaging in risky conduct, you are not leaving anything for yourself. You're not leaving anything for yourself for 5 years later, and you definitely ain't leaving nothing for somebody else. And let me ask you this. Is this why we're making the kind of decisions that we're making now? Because our forefathers didn't leave us something? We have to do better, and we must do better. But it starts with us looking deep into who we are, identifying that clearly. Have a moment with yourself, sit with yourself, be in solitude. I love being by myself. My husband and I mean, we do amazing together because we both like work a lot. I cannot see him for a minute and we're good. We can be in the same house and he'll be in a totally different part of the house. I'm upstairs, in a different part of the house, and we won't see each other for hours because I love my alone time. I love just being able to, really be in tune with me and figure out what I want, figure out what it is that I need to do, figure out who I am. I would not have achieved a certain level of success that I have achieved so far and that I know I'm going to achieve without knowing who I am, right? A lot of us can't even break barriers yet because we don't even know who we are. We're too busy out there trying to please other people. And we got to stop. We have to stop. You can even do a risk and benefit analysis on that. What is the risk of me trying to please somebody? What is the benefit of me pleasing somebody? Okay, the benefit may be you get something short-term out of the person, but the risk is it's more detrimental to you in the long run because you can't authentically be yourself if you're trying to please somebody else. You will get tired pleasing somebody else, right? Is it fulfilling to you to please somebody else? I mean, we have to do this analysis, and I want you guys to be equipped to have the tools to know that you can be better than your environment, than your community, wherever you grew up at that didn't have the resources available that you needed to see that life can be better than this, right? You don't want to be the individual who, as soon as you're out the door, out the gate of the community, you're like a kid in the candy store and can't even control yourself. The people who come into contact with you who have millions of dollars or who have the titles, they're just people. You don't have to prove anything to them. Prove something to yourself first. Figure out who you are. Do your risk and benefit analysis so that you don't make the same mistakes that many of athletes and professional persons have made before you. It is time to stop I don't even want to say rewriting, but like replaying history. If you're going to make a mistake, let's make a new mistake. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. Look, make sure you go and get both of my books because I need you guys to literally be equipped with everything possible to ensure you are on the right path to the success that you want, but also the freedom of what you want in your life. And that starts with who you are as a person. Get What Are You Sporting About at prosportlawyer.com. You want to start talking about some of the brands and individuals who lost their brands and lost a ton of money because they didn't know who they were, and understanding the foundations to really having your say in this life, then I suggest that you go and get Athletes Making Moves, which is my newest best-selling book, Athletes Making Moves. You can get that at athletesmakingmoves.com/shop. I want you guys to have everything that you need, okay, to be successful. So, guys, I am Sivonnia DeBarros, protector of athletes. Until next time, I will check you guys later. Ciao.
Thanks for joining us this week on What Are You Sporting About podcast. Make sure to visit our website, prosportlawyer.com, where you can subscribe to the show in iTunes, Stitcher, or whatever your favorite platform is, so you'll never miss a show. And while you're at it, if you found value in the show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes or iHeartRadio. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. If you like the show, you might want to check out our book, What Are You Sporting About? Attorney Sivonnia DeBarros is available for private consulting at sldebarros.com. And remember, we're here to educate, support, and guide you in your journey to success because we're all sporting about something.